I started a brand completely from scratch out of my bedroom that has generated close to $10 million in sales in the past few years. It's ranked #2 on Amazon bestseller in its category. It's sold in stores all across the country, and it set me financially free by the age of 26. Hey, my name's Ryan, and in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can start your very own brand from scratch of any kind of product that you wanna sell. I'm gonna teach you how to find a manufacturer, how to contact the manufacturer, what to actually say to them, how to get your branded logo on the products that you want to sell, how to actually order the product, how to set up your website, how to sell, and all that jazz. I'm going to take you from A to Z to start your very own brand. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to do. Let's start with step number 1. In any business, what do you have to do? You have to come up with an idea. Now, this can be done in multiple parts. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna take you through a business that I'm actually starting right now that I literally went through all of these processes, and it's a brand new business, not Beyond Braid, the other business I was talking about. When you're coming up with an idea, it can be a product that you wanna come up with or just a cool brand in a specific niche that you already know about. So for example, I'm starting a pickleball brand. I started playing pickleball for the past 6 months, and I saw that, hey, this sport is growing. It'd probably be a good idea to get into this business somehow. And then one day I was sitting in my office and I was just like thinking of names for a potential pickleball business, and I thought of this name, Professor Pickleball. That sounded super good, but what I also thought of was, hey, I can market this in a very unique way. I can brand myself as a character called Professor Pickleball and teach people lessons and come up with cool concepts and paddles. So I came up with this general idea of the actual brand before looking at specific products. And you could do this either way, right? You can look at specific products first and then come up with the brand name later. But generally, you have to come up with an idea of a business or a brand or a product that you want to sell. And I would say the easiest way to identify this is just look at stuff that you're already doing, hobbies that you already like, things that you're already interested in. Like, I'm interested in fishing. I've been fishing my whole life. That's why I grew this fishing brand to almost $10 million in sales. I've been playing pickleball for 6 months. I played sports my whole life. It's something I'm interested in, so I think it's going to be a successful business for me because I'm actually able to know about the sport, the lingo, the products that are used in the sport right now, and do some product research, and it's just a little bit more natural. If I was starting a makeup brand, it'd be a lot more difficult. All right, moving on to step number 2. Once you have your idea and you know what you want to do, in my case, it was pickleball, now it's time to find a manufacturer. So let's hop into the computer and I'll show you exactly where to go. So the website you're going to go to is Alibaba.com. So Alibaba is essentially a website where you can connect with manufacturers directly who already make the products that you want to sell. And this literally ranges from any product. It's not just fishing, it's not just pickleball, it's literally anything. Whether you want to do makeup, whether you want to do bicycle tires or airplane parts, right? I guarantee you Alibaba will have it. And you can see, look, this is just like some random products that they have. They have gloves, fishing equipment. This is obviously just based off stuff that I've been searching for. Tackle bags, pickleball, anything, right? Literally anything you want. But again, for the sake of this video, we're going to do pickleball, so I can just show you the process and how it's going to work. In this case, I would just come here for the first time and type in pickleball paddle. And they have loads and loads and loads of options. Now, there's a few tricks to find out which suppliers are good and which suppliers are not so good, right? So there's a couple filters right here on the side that you can do. And you could do verified supplier. So that means someone from Alibaba actually has been to their factory in China and can say, hey, this is a real place. There's real people. It's a real manufacturer. So I always like to find verified suppliers. And then as you're scrolling through it, right, you could just see, look, verified for 4 years. They have 4.7 stars. Verified for 10 years. Typically, the older the supplier, the more trustworthy they are if they've been on here longer. So we're just looking, and let's say you find one you like, so you just click on it, right? You go here and you click on it. So these guys clearly have some pretty unique looking paddles, which I like to see, which means you can actually make something different that's in the marketplace. There's not typically paddles that are like this right now. So what's cool about this, it'll tell you, look, it's probably $50 a piece or $15 a piece. I don't really trust this information. Once you find someone you like, we're going to move on to the next step, and that's actually how to contact the supplier. There's 2 ways to contact the supplier. You do have to contact them directly on Alibaba right here where it says contact supplier. So you do have to create an account. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to click contact supplier. Usually it's going to tell you to log in. Here's a detailed requirement of what you need. So this is exactly what I typed. All right, so just an overview of the message. Here it is. You're going to tell the manufacturer, you're going to say, hi there, my name is so-and-so. I'm a very experienced seller of products online. We sold over $10 million USD of our own brand and on Amazon. We are looking to get into pickleball and start selling products. So you're establishing credibility, saying, hey, we've been doing this for a long time. We're not just some Joe Schmo, right? They're not going to know whether you've done it before. So I would just type out this message just exactly as is. And now what you need to do is get them off Alibaba. Right. So I always say, please contact me on Skype, or you could do WhatsApp, and make sure you put spaces in between because their algorithm can pick up on it and they won't let you send the message. So I say, hey, contact me here. And then I ask these very important questions. Please send me your catalog of paddles, MOQ, minimum order quantity, price, and production time. So you want to know all those things in order to make the best decision for yourself. And then I say, thanks, and I look forward to talking with you. So I take this exact message, right, and I copy it, and I send it here, right? I send it to this factory. But what I'll also do, come to this other factory and send the exact same message. And I'll do this for about 10 other factories, because here is the kicker. There are some factories who are better than others. So the key to finding a good manufacturer is actually seeing which individuals will go out and contact you on Skype or the other platforms that they're requesting. It's just easier communication. You can get notifications directly to your phone and never miss a beat. But the people who actually care, and the manufacturers who actually care and have good communication, will actually go and contact you on Skype. So I'll probably reach out between 10 and 20 suppliers, and I'll maybe get 3 to 5 that will actually reach out to me on Skype. And from there, I'll verify which ones I want. So step number 4 is to actually get the catalog, the minimum order quantity, and the production time from the supplier. So once you've contacted them on Alibaba, you got to wait probably 1 to 2 days for them to actually start reaching out. And here we're actually in my Skype, where you can see these are actually pickleball manufacturers that are reaching out to me. And I'm just basically asking them, hey, thanks for reaching out. This was actually a supplier I did some samples with, but didn't actually like it. But you can see it's just a lot of back and forth communication to see and get exactly what you want. Hey, this is Ryan Mayo, or this is whoever, so-and-so. You can see I had a bunch of suppliers reach out for the pickleball stuff. And once you get the catalog, the minimum order quantity, and the price, it's time for you to make a decision of what is your risk tolerance, how much product you want to order, whether it's 50 units, whether it's 100 units, 500 units. Some suppliers are different than others. Some suppliers have much bigger order quantities than others. So it all just depends on how much money you want to invest in the beginning. I've seen suppliers do as low as 50 to 100 minimum order, and at $10, that's $500 to $1,000 of an upfront investment. So it's not that much money to get started with this. Step number 5 is to actually order samples from the manufacturer that you think you want to work with. So here's one specifically, Francisca Gin, right? I gave him basically, I had an idea of exactly what I wanted. You can see this is the exact shape I wanted. And I said, hey, what is your minimum order and lead time, right? And I sent them kind of examples of what I'm thinking. So if you have a brand that you're looking at or something similar you want to do, just send them examples of kind of what you're thinking to get the process going. And they're like, sure, we have this, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just a lot of back and forth. And here, they actually sent me the file, the catalog of what they have to offer. I just can't download it because it's an old file. But again, it's just a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's a lot of communication. At this point, you got to communicate with these people. They're 12 hours ahead of you, depending on where you are in the world. I'm here on the East Coast in Miami, so they're 12 hours ahead. So when it's 7 a.m. here, it's 7 p.m. at night. So typically I communicate in morning and nights with these suppliers. And then you order a sample to test and verify that, hey, this is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you were looking for. And really take this time to look at a few different factories if you're really serious about this. If not, you can go with one person and go for it and hope they have really good samples and hope they're reliable. But choosing samples is a very important part of the process, especially if you're going to brand and invest. You want to make sure you're getting a quality product because some people have bad quality, some people have pretty good quality. And typically to pay for these samples, they're actually just going to send you a link on Alibaba. You can send through PayPal. Most likely, again, you can verify who they are. If they're contacting you on here and you feel comfortable with them, I would go ahead and pay. Typically, these people aren't trying to scam you. So go ahead, order the samples, and then we'll go on to the next step. Once you're this far along, and you've already ordered the samples, typically they take 1 to 2 weeks to arrive depending on what kind of express shipping you get. But at this moment in time, it's actually time to come up with the official company name, get your domain names, secure your social media accounts, and all that kind of stuff, because now you're pretty far into the process where you actually want to start building this business. Now, here's a mistake I made. The company I was doing for pickleball was called Professor Pickleball. And when I went to go look at this stage in the game, the domain name was actually available, professorpickle.com. But I didn't secure and lock up that domain name until a month later when I went back and put in my first order. The domain name was gone. Someone stole it. So that was just a lesson learned. Right after you get samples and you're thinking you're gonna do this, that's when I would go and secure the domain name, secure your social media handles, and all that kind of stuff. So right now I've secured Professor Pickleball on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I got professorpaddles.com, which still works. So at that point, this is once you've ordered your samples, you want to start developing the actual brand name and start formulating, hey, this is my marketing plan. This is how I'm going to film videos, etc., etc. So that's step number 6, is to come up with the brand name, secure your domain name and social media accounts. Step number 7 is you've finally got your samples in the mail. 1 to 2 weeks later, it's time to go use them. So, or test them out, so to say. So for my specific case, the pickleball paddles, I went and played pickleball every day for about a week and tested out the paddles to make sure they were exactly what I wanted. And the first round of samples that I ordered from this manufacturer, they just weren't that good. They didn't really listen to the specs that I wanted. The communication wasn't great and the paddle wasn't great. So I went back to the drawing board, reached out to a couple other suppliers that I was talking with and said, hey, started the process over. Ordered samples, got 2 more samples from 2 other factories. And then I found one that was really, really good that I actually really, really liked. And I said, hey, you are the winner. I want to work with you. And I proceeded to place my big mass production order with this specific factory. So testing out samples is very, very important to ensure it's exactly what you want and the final product is going to come out exactly how you want it into the quality of specs. So testing out your samples is super important. So number 8 is to actually come up with a logo and come up with a brand name and come up with a design for your product and send it to the factory to then go ahead and make your first round of samples of your specific branded product. So number 8 is to actually come up with a logo and come up with a brand name and come up with a design for your product and send it to the factory to then go ahead and make your first round of samples of your specific branded product. Now, I'm blocking out who I'm talking to because this is actually my manufacturer, but you can see it's just a long process of talking to people, going back and forth, figuring out design, figuring out specs, saying, hey, send me this, send me that. And then obviously I had a graphic designer come up with our logo and design. But again, look, they're sending a bunch of pictures and it's just a lot of communication going back and forth, making sure everything is correct. And you can see here were the next round of samples with my logo. So this was my first round of samples with my logo that I wanted to make sure the design came out correctly. And since we received these samples, we actually made some modifications because we saw some things missing. So it's pretty cool. And also in that process, if your product needs packaging, you're going to have to create some packaging as well. This was a very simple design that I actually did myself, just put our logo and the name of the products here. So if you have these graphic design skills, this part's going to be pretty easy for you to make designs on products like this, but you can always hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork.com to make simple graphic designs. Like this is a very simple design. And usually to speed up the process, they're actually going to make 1 or 2 samples for you with your logo on it, and then they can just send you pictures and videos. That way you don't have to wait another round to get it shipped to you, but you can do that as well. And once they say, hey, does this look good? Does this look bad? What do you think? I say, hey, this looks perfect. Let's put it into mass production. You can then go ahead and pay for your order. Step number 9 is actually placing the order, deciding, hey, I want 100 paddles at this price, this design, yada, 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 right? So the way placing an order works is you tell them exactly what you want, how many you need with your design, and typically they ask for a 30% down payment. And the rest of the payment is done once they're done through the production. So I'll give you the timeline. Decide, hey, on April 1st, I want to put in this order. So you send them 30% down. Let's say this order comes out to $10,000. You're going to send them $3,000. And that could be done through PayPal, Alibaba directly, using a credit card, or you can send them a wire transfer. I personally like to do wire transfers. It's just what I do. Typically for these kinds of products and most products, it's anywhere from 30 to 45 days for production time. And then Once that time is over and they've actually made the product, they're going to ask you for the rest of the 70% down payment. And that's when you go ahead and pay for the rest. So you've now paid $10,000. You've placed your first order. It's been 30 to 45 days production time. Now the product is going to ship. Usually there's 3 methods to ship. You can go air shipping, which takes 2 weeks more or less, which is very expensive. You could do fast sea shipping, where it comes on a boat in 30 days, which is moderately expensive. And then you could low sea shipping, which is 60 days plus, and it's the cheapest option. I always elect for 30 days fast sea shipping. Now, moving on to step number 10. As soon as you place your order and you've fully paid for it, we're gonna come over here to Shopify.com, because remember, you have 30 days to now wait for your product to arrive, and you're gonna start building your website. So what does that look like? It's taking pictures of your product. Here, I'll show you an example. This was a previous pickleball dropshipping store that I quickly started. And essentially, look, right, you're gonna take product pictures, you're gonna make your product listing, you're gonna buy your domain name, you're gonna write descriptions, you're gonna make little infographics, just like this, you're gonna make videos, and you're doing this all while your product is coming 30 days from shipping. Usually what I tell them to do is just send me one completed product, express, so it gets to my house in about 3 to 5 days, and then I use that model to do everything on the website. So that's what you're doing in the next, again, 30 days to make sure it's right? You can make videos like this. So I got this one sample and I made this awesome video. That way, when the product arrives and it arrives at your house or your warehouse, wherever you're sending it, you have the website ready and you have the videos and pictures and ads ready that it's time to click live and you can start selling right away. It's not gonna take you a month to do this and the inventory is just sitting dead. And step number 11, your product arrives and you're officially a brand owner. What is it time to do? It's time to sell the shit out of that product. It's time to market that product, make Facebook ads, make TikTok ads, put it on Amazon and start selling the product. And just a little key, a little insider, the whole key to this online selling products business model is marketing. If you have better marketing than your competition, I promise you, you will sell. That's how I've sold so much of this product. This fishing line product is actually a new product coming out that we have. It's marketing. We have great marketing. We have great social media. We have over 200,000 followers on all platforms because we take social media, videos, pictures, all that kind of stuff very, very seriously. So that's step number 11 is start marketing and start selling your product. Now, if all this seemed a little bit crazy and seems like a little bit too much money, you could basically follow these steps, but do some drop shipping instead. And if you want to learn to do drop shipping, here's a 7-hour course on drop shipping I posted on YouTube. Guys, I hope you got some value. Like and subscribe. Go watch this video if you want to drop ship instead. If not, start your brand. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.